Good morning, dear students of class 8. Welcome to the English online learning class. Today we are going to further read the text of the lesson, The Best Christmas Present in the World, Part 4. So first let us do a recap of what we did in the previous classes. Now, the narrator, he spotted a roll-top desk in a junk shop in Bridport, and he always wanted to buy one. Now, this roll-top desk was of early 19th century and it was made up of oak wood. Now, he always wanted to buy an oak wood roll-top desk, but he was not able to buy because they were very expensive. This roll-top desk was in a bad condition and one leg was very badly mended. There were burnt marks on all the sides. And the thing was that this desk was cheap. And so he thought he would buy it, he would repair it. It would be a risk, but he would take this challenge. He bought the desk, made the payment, and then brought it to his workroom at the back of the garage. And he began working on it on Christmas Eve. Now, the condition of the roll-top desk was very bad. The veneer, the plastic layer of decorative wood, it had come out at several places. And it seemed as if both fire and water had damaged the desk. He had to open the drawers by using a lot of force, and the last drawer would not open. So he had to use his fist also to open it. And then when he opened it with force, he found that there was a small secret drawer, and in this secret drawer was a small black tin box. And on the top of it, cellotape was a lined note paper. And in this was written in shaky handwriting, Jim's last letter, received January 25, 1915. And to be buried with me when the time comes. So the person who had received this letter had written that the letter was to be buried with him when the person dies. Now, it is not right to open anyone's letter, but then the narrator was very curious and he decided to open it. The envelope had the address Mrs. Jim Macpherson, 12th Copper Beeches, Bridport, Dorset. And when he opened the letter, it was dated December 26, 1940. Now, the letter read like this. Dearest Connie. Connie is Mrs. Jim Macpherson. Now, the person who was writing this letter was her husband, who was in the battlefield. And he was writing that today I am in a better frame of mind. I am happy because what happened that Christmas morning was what was written in that letter. All the soldiers, they were standing in trenches, long deep ditches where soldiers hide from the enemy. It was a beautiful Christmas morning. But what surprised the English soldiers was that the German soldiers, they were waving white flags and they were shouting, Merry Christmas, Tommy. Tommy is the other English soldiers. And then their side also replied by wishing them same to you. Now, these German soldiers, they started coming forward. And they also said, don't shoot. Now, the writer of this letter, who was the commander of that group, said maybe it is a trick that they are playing. But then the German soldiers were in a mood to celebrate. They were waving bottles, saying that it was Christmas Day and let us have sausages and schnapps, a German drink made from grain. Now, their side soldiers also said, the English soldiers, little Private Morris said, come on, let us join them. Let us join the fun. And what was surprising was, it was wartime. And the German and English soldiers, they were celebrating Christmas. And Connie's husband, who is Jim McPherson, who is writing this letter, writes that then the German officer also came, and he introduced himself by saying that he is Hans Wolf. And he said that before the war, he played cello in the orchestra. And he said, Happy Christmas. And Connie's husband, Jim's McPherson husband, introduced himself as Captain Jim McPherson. And he also wished Hans Wolf Happy Christmas. And he said that before the war, I was a school teacher from Dorset. Now they were talking about books. They were talking about their places from which they belong. They were talking about food. They were talking uh, about football. Then they started playing football. And in the football match, the German side won. But Hans Wolf, the commander of the German forces, said that it is not fair. Our side won, but the goal which your side made was really very fine. And Jim McPherson also said that if we had played cricket, we would have won. So they were talking about games, they were talking about food, they were talking about songs, they were talking about books. They were not talking about war. And they also felt, Hans Wolf said, that wars, they only bring losses. People die. Children are orphaned. Women become widows. Instead, matches should be played. Now that is the only way of resolving disputes. Wars are not a way of resolving disputes. Now let us continue from where we left in the previous class. The time came, and all too soon, when the game was finished, the schnapps and the rum and the sausage had long since run out. We knew it was all over. Now celebration time was over. Once again, they had to return back to their trenches and start the war. I wished Hans well and told him I hoped he would see his family again soon, that the fighting would end and we would all go home. So the German and the French and the English soldiers, they felt that the war would come to an end and they would return back to their families. I think that is what every soldier wants on both sides. Hans said, Take care, Jim McPherson. I shall never forget this moment, nor you. This moment is very memorable. I, as a German soldier, will remember, and you, as an English soldier, will remember this good moment of our life every time. He saluted and walked away from me slowly and willingly. I felt. He turned to wave just once and then became one of the hundreds of grey-coated men drifting back towards their trenches. So he joined the German soldiers who were returning to their trenches. That night, back in our dugouts, we heard them singing a carol and singing it beautifully. It was Still Nash, Still Night. Our boys gave them a rousing chorus of Wild Shepherd's Watch. So both the sides were singing carols in the night. We exchanged carols for a while, then we all fell silent. We had had our time of peace and goodwill, a time I will treasure as long as I live. So we enjoyed this time of peace and goodwill, unity. And this time I'm going to remember throughout my life. Dearest Coney, by Christmas time next year, this war will be nothing but a distant and terrible memory. He says next Christmas, probably this war is going to be over and it will bring with us bad memories of death, killings. I know from all that happened today how much both armies long for peace. Both the German and the English soldiers, they want peace. The war has gone on for too long, and everyone is tired of war. Many lives have been lost. Many children have been orphaned. Many wives have become widows. So war gives us nothing but sadness, but losses. We shall be together again soon. He's talking to his wife. Once the war is over, I'm going to join you. We will be together. I'm sure of it. And I'm sure I'm going to return back from war. Your loving Jim. He's writing to his wife, Mrs. Jim Macpherson, whom he calls as Connie. We'll stop here and we'll continue with the remaining portion in next class. Now, till then, take care.